This is a brief historical timeline of the great city of Chicago. The following list of events take place from 1696 to 1848 and incorporate the discovery, development, and prosper of Chicago and the surrounding area. So without further delay, let's begin. We start with the mission of the Guardian Angel, led by Father Pierre-François Pinet in 1696. A French-born Jesuit, Pinet travels to Canada where he intends to convert the native inhabitants to Christianity. The exact location of the mission of the Guardian Angel is unknown, but various historians have proposed a number of sites in the Chicago area and did have an impact on a number of natives living in the area at the time. However, it wasn't until 1779 that people started to settle in the region that would later be Chicago. A man by the name of Jean-Baptiste Pont du Sable, an Afro-French fur trader, became the first permanent settler of Chicago. He would later sell his land and move south, but he is remembered throughout the city as the earliest settler in Chicago. Fort Dearborn, constructed in 1803, was an American outpost on the western frontier. It was the main means of defense against any hostile native encounters in the Chicago area. However, on August 15, 1812, an American force made up of soldiers as well as fleeing women and children was attacked along the lake shore by Native Americans as they attempted to evacuate to Fort Wayne. Many soldiers, as well as most of the women and children, died in the raid. After this attack, known as the Fort Dearborn Massacre, Native Americans burned the fort to the ground. It would not be until 1816 that Americans would return to Chicago. On August 26, 1818, Illinois becomes the 21st state of the United States of America. With this, Americans in the East travel out to Chicago and the surrounding area for financial opportunities and to make a living. Moving on. First proposed in 1807, the Erie Canal was under construction from 1817 to 1825 when it officially opened on October 26, 1825. The Erie Canal ran about 363 miles from Albany, New York on the Hudson River to Buffalo, New York at Lake Erie. From there, completing a water route from New York City and the Atlantic Ocean to the Great Lakes and Chicago. This massively increased trading opportunities with Americans in the East and helped transport future settlers to the Great Lakes and Chicago region. In 1827, the U.S. Congress grants land to Illinois for the purpose of building a canal to connect the Great Lakes to the Illinois River. This would later be known as the Illinois-Michigan Canal. This would create many jobs and attract many people to move to Chicago. In 1832, while returning north to their homelands, a group of Native Americans known as the Blackhawks clashed with the settlers who had taken over their land. The settlers, not knowing what to do, called up the army to help defend themselves. For the latter half of 1832, the U.S. and the natives would be engaged in a conflict that would later come to be known as the Black Hawk War. The Blackhawks would quickly be defeated, and come 1836, there would be close to no natives left in the state of Illinois. A key figure at the time, William B. Ogden became Chicago's first mayor in 1837. In his early years, Ogden made a name for himself in the real estate business. As an investor in the Illinois-Michigan Canal, he would then switch his loyalty to railroads. Finally, in 1848, after 12 years of work, the Illinois-Michigan Canal is completed. The significance of this is huge. Trading could now be conducted from the east to the Midwest all the way down to the Gulf. With the canal, goods and services can now flow through the canal to the Illinois River, from there to the Mississippi River, and all the way down to Louisiana and the Gulf of Mexico. This major accomplishment would be short-lived, however. In the same year, the first Chicago Railroad was constructed, known as the Galena and Chicago Union Railroad. Many more were soon to follow. Trains could now travel faster and carry more than shipping by river. In addition, trains could be used at any time during the year, compared to boats that would have to shut down during the winter. This would shape Chicago into the largest train hub in the Midwest, as it still remains today. These events, without question, have shaped Chicago into the great city it has become today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and maybe even learned a little bit about the interesting background of Chicago and the Great Lakes region. Thank you for watching.